We're not here to talk about any of that, all right? We're keeping it PG. We're keeping it for the family in this fucking video, all right? This is it's so stupid. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach Adkins, and in this video we are going to talk about some more musicians that wear wigs. Let's get into it. Okay, so it's been a minute since I've made videos about this, not because I don't want to make a video about it, but just because I've had a lot of other things I had to do and life gets in the way, and here we are. I found some more musicians that I believe wear wigs, and I don't really care that they wear wigs. It doesn't really affect my life, which is a question I get asked all the time, like, why do you care? Why do you even care if they wear wigs? I don't care. You care. Other people care. I guess I care a little bit. I care enough to make a video about it, I guess. And, well, anyway, what am I talking about? Wigs, right. So, essentially, we all know by now that pretty much everything in the music industry and in the Hollywood world or whatever, it's all pretty much fake. You could almost make an argument that everybody's wearing a wig, you know, like that. And of course, and you know, there's also the idea of like, well, if they're in a movie, of course they're probably wearing a wig, or if they're, you know, if there's a function that they have to do, are they probably wearing a wig? But that's not really what we're getting into. We're getting into people that are wearing wigs that are trying to pass it off as if they aren't wearing wigs. And I think that it's fine that they do, especially, you know, especially like with men that are experiencing that like male pattern baldness. I think that they get a little bit self-doubt about, you know, like the image and everything. You know, I'm losing my hair and it's just bumming me out all the time, but you just got to roll with it and do what you can. That's why people wear hats, or they do like the minoxidil and the other stuff, whatever. We're not going to get into all that. You can watch my first video about that. It's almost at like 500,000 views, which is nuts. And I'm going to keep making videos about wigs. What I think I should do is make a video about each person individually and kind of expand on it. I think that might be a good idea too. So whatever, we're not here to talk all about that, but more so just looking at people that wear wigs. So let's get right into it. First person up on the list is Adam Duritz. Now, there's a caveat to this one. There's a caveat to all of them. But the caveat to this one is that he wasn't wearing a wig for a long time. But then he got rid of his like iconic dreads that he has. And then he like decided to keep wearing these weird wigs to keep that facade going, probably because he didn't think people would recognize him without it, or nobody would come to the shows. But then you realize like, hey dude, your songs are pretty good. Maybe people would understand that you're getting older and losing your hair. But you can really see here in this photo where he's got the wig and then his actual natural hair starts. So he's got it kind of phased in between there a little bit. He's also wearing in-ear monitors, which is kind of cool. So it's things like this that makes me wonder to myself, like, why do they care so much that people care? Because maybe people wouldn't care. I mean, you know, like I said, you're getting older. Of course you're going to lose hair or, you know, whatever. But I guess, you know, when you have a, you know, a band like his that, you know, does really well and people expect to see that hair, you know, maybe there's this weird stigma in his mind of like, well, if I don't go out there with my big hair, people won't care. But I think people will care regardless. And it's actually a pretty decent wig here. Just if you weren't really up close, you really wouldn't tell. I mean, his hair looks kind of that way anyway. Here he is without the dreads. He finally decided, like, you know, I've had enough. He looks like a middle-aged dude. He looks like he's going to do your taxes. That's cool. I would trust him with my taxes for sure. I think he's you know, he looks decent. And of course it doesn't change how his voice is, you know, and that's something that people bring up too, is like, I don't care what their hair looks like as long as they keep playing good music. And it's like, that's a fair point too. I agree. I think more people should think like that, but unfortunately some people don't. Like, they want what they saw on the album or heard on the album or whatever, and that's what causes people to do like auto tune and stuff live, or, you know, play to like a vocal track and lip sync, because they don't want the illusion to be gone. And most people eat it up and they don't think about it. But I would be hard pressed to find musicians that don't use backing tracks or lip sync to something, you know, or have some kind of like, you know, power behind the vocals, some kind of backing track going at some point, because they don't want the illusion to die. Same thing with their hair. They don't want the illusion to be gone. Here he was with his actual hair. You can really see you can see it hitting right on the scalp. Those are his real dreads. And this is the guy that most of us are going to think about when we think of the Black Crows. The fucking Counting Crows, not Black Crows. What am I talking about? I'm so fucked up today. This is what we think about when, we think of the Counting Crows, Mr. Jones and me. Oh my God, I'm pulling some hair off. Oh, jeez. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. Adam. Hey, what's up, dude? This is his real hair. This is what he was known for. Looks great. No big deal. This is a wig. This might not be a wig. Let me zoom in. Let's zoom in. Let's do a little research here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a wig, or do you think it's... I think it's a wig because it doesn't really match the side hair here that's coming in. I think that I think he had his hair underneath and he set that thing on top. That's what that looks like to me. Either that or he was on his way to wearing a wig because he would lose his hair. So because you can see here, oh yeah, so look at this photo and then look at this photo. His hair is really starting to recede back, which is kind of strange because even now it doesn't seem like his hair's receded that much. Well, but of course, if you have dreads, then they pull on your scalp a lot, so you get like that temporary alopecia in the front. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this dude was a black guy for the longest time. Apparently, he is not black. I don't know if it was because of the dreads or what, but like I thought he was a black dude. Let's see. Let me look at his life. Let's go to Wikipedia because Wikipedia is never wrong. Gilbert and Linda Duritz, both physicians. He's Jewish, so that's totally not black. He dated Jennifer Aniston? Bro, what? I'm learning so much about this guy. Voluptuous dreadlocks. Cool. So he is not a black guy, and he dated Jennifer Aniston. Two things I didn't know before making this video. So you probably didn't know it either. Good job. So this is this is a ridiculous wig. I don't know if he was just playing into his persona or what, but this is a bad wig. This is when it's like, bro, we gotta have a talk. All right, we gotta have a discussion about this fucking weird wig you're wearing. Anyway, so yeah, that's definitely a wig, and I'm glad that he actually decided to rock the regular hair. Just go for it. It looks fine. All right, next up on the list, we've got Mr. Jack Russell. That's a dog. Hey, Vader, did you put this in here? That's a Jack Russell Terrier. Jack Russell, the, musician, singer, not the dog from, the Great White. Well, not the Great White, it's just Great White. Real quick, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do, because only 7% of people that are watching my videos are subscribed. Just go ahead and click it real quick. It takes 2 seconds and it's free and it helps me out. Please, thank you very much. Okay, bye. Get back to the video. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say, like, this guy passed away in August of this year, and man, that was really sad. I saw some, photos of him and just like the last message that he sent out. He was really going downhill. He had a degenerative disease and what was it, Lewy body dementia and multiple system atrophy. So essentially, like, I mean, dementia is usually with the mind, right? Like your mind just stops functioning properly, but his like body was not functioning properly, and he had like atrophy everywhere, almost like a Lou Gehrig's disease kind of vibe. So it's like, rest in peace to this guy. Great singer, great band. Total respect for him and his family. Just want to throw that out there. That's really sad. I'm glad that he's not in pain anymore and that he's okay. Hopefully in the afterlife. So neither here nor there. We're not here to be sad. We're here to talk about wigs, and this guy's got one. Look at this. So of course we all know, because we're smart now, right? We're intelligent people because we've watched my videos, and in my videos I talk about anybody who starts wearing fucking bandanas is a culprit. He's a culprit, and he was wearing that. Now, okay, I almost feel bad putting him in here because like maybe he was wearing it because of the disease or something now, and I don't know. God, please don't get mad at me. I'm just the wig guy, all right? I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings. I just want to look at people's hair. That's it, I want to move on from this one. It just makes me sad. But look at this guy. Really great looking guy. Really good hair, too. That was perfect hair, especially back in the 80s. They once bitten, twice shy. That kind of shit. Like, that is great hair. Respect to him and his family. I think here, this photo really makes me sad. You can see that he had quite a bit of bloating and stuff like that because of the illness. I don't even want to have him on this list, but I feel like if I don't have him on the list, I'm going to feel worse because, like, the guy deserves to be talked about because, whether he had plugs or extensions or a wig or whatever, he was a great singer. So, again, you got the bandana. I think these were plugs more than it was a wig. I think he probably started receding really bad because a lot of the times, like when they had this kind of hairdo, maybe not at this stage in life, but you start receding, but you still have the bangs to kind of hide it. And then you start wearing bandanas to hide that little receding hairline. Fucking hat's all crooked. But you can see, yeah, he had a big receding hairline here. And I think, and it looks like if I zoom in a little bit, it feels like he had plugs or something. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just losing his hair, and that's just the end of it. But this looks like before he got kind of sick too. He looked pretty healthy here for the most part. It just happens, man. Father Time comes for us all. This guy in the back, he has no fucking hair, and that's all right too, I guess. So yeah, there's Jack Russell. Rest in peace, bro. Thank you for the great songs. Next up on the list, Reba McIntyre. She is the called the reigning queen of country. Okay, I don't really know a whole lot about country music, but it says she sold 75 million records, and everybody pretty much knows who she is, and her name is. Everybody just calls her Reba. I think once you get on a first name basis as like your identity, I think that's when you really start, like Oprah or Cher or Reba or Shrek. That's when you've really made it in life, is having that kind of entity. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So it's really no surprise, especially like, men wear the wigs because they have like receding hairlines a lot of the times, right? They're losing their hair and then they want to keep the big hair. But with women, it seems to be different. It's more because they want to have short hair because they're freaking tired of having to like sit in a chair all day and make up their hair and have it like, puffed out, or, for this event, we got to freaking have it smaller, whatever. So they usually just like, they go short and then they wear wigs because it's just easier to have, just have a hairstyle for an event and not feel like you have to sit in a chair for 30 freaking hours. And I know for a fact that she wears a wig even to this day. But this photo specifically here, which is over here, even though I'm pointing this way, but it's over here. This is a photo from 1995 or so, when she had an album coming out, and she was known for having the big hair. And she had a new album coming out, and she cut her hair and didn't really tell the record label about it. At least I think that's how it went down. She didn't really tell the record label about it. And they were like, dude, we're trying to freaking promote your album, and you're known as the big red hair freaking country star. You can't be rocking this short little hairdo, because she just wanted it gone. So they were compromising by like, you need to wear a wig until the album comes out, and then you can get rid of it. And this is very much a wig that she's wearing here in this photo. Now, this is her more like today. That's a wig. And a lot of the times what they do is there's like this elastic thing that they put down like towards the forehead, and then it like sticks to the skin so you can't really see it, and then they pull the wig back, so it's no longer just sits on top of your head. Like, they've gotten really, really specific about like covering up more area so the wig doesn't look so obvious, and then they'll put this thing on top, the hair piece on top of that, so it looks like one seamless piece. But really, she probably has more of like a short, maybe like, not like a buzz cut short, but, just like a shorter hairdo that you can just throw something on top. This was her natural hair. It's beautiful, beautiful hair. Love it. Very curly. You look at this photo and then you come back and you can tell really heavily that that's a wig, because it doesn't look as natural as this does on her. And of course, she's young here and it's not going to last forever. So you got to do what you got to do. This was kind of what she was rocking back in 95. She had kind of the short, what's that one actress's name? So on this side, she's got more like a Helen Hunt kind of vibe. And then here's like the wig that they made her wear while she was promoting the album. But I honestly, like, I have long hair and stuff, but I don't do anything with it. I brush it, I wash it, I brush it again, and that's it. And it just sits here and does whatever it's gonna do for the day. And when I get sick and tired of it some days, I throw it in a ponytail, put it behind the hat, and I don't think about it. As a female country star, or even a star in general, I can imagine it's like thinking about your hair every single second of every day, and like how you're going to present yourself at this event or this event. Yeah, I could totally see that you just want to freaking cut it all off. Give me a wig. A lot of people do that. That's a wig. Look at that. Because she was probably like, I want to look younger, or I want to have like this different style. So she probably has that short hair. They put like a cap on that to lock it out. Boom. They just set the wig right on top. And I guarantee you watch any show, you know, like the American Idols and the Voice and, you know, whatever other show, like they're probably wearing a wig because it's so much faster to just slap on a wig and call it a day. The Queen of Country wears a wig for sure. And I bet you, you know, she goes back, takes that thing off, sets it down, and then she's just rocking a short hairdo. And that's cool too. All right, last on the list is Michael Jackson. I think this one's kind of like a gimme because the guy had so much plastic surgery done over the years. Like, why wouldn't he be wearing a wig? But I still had people in the comments, they were just like, nope, he doesn't wear a wig. Nope, that was his real hair. He chemically treated his hair. And no, he didn't. Get the hell out of here. This is a wig, dude. You could see point blank, like, right, where am I at? Here I am. You could see the like, what is that called? That mesh that they use all around, and it like permanently sticks to the head. That's not a real person's hair. All right. Poor guy. You know, let's not. Okay. Real quick before we start getting into that, I don't want to hear any of this BS in the comments about what he did personal life. And that, you know, people are like, well, I'm glad that he's dead because he was a pedophile or this and that. We're not here to talk about any of that. All right. We're keeping it PG. We're keeping it for the family in this fucking video. All right. This is, so stupid. Anyway, we're keeping it PG here for the kids. We're not here to talk about Michael Jackson's personal life and all the BS that he went through. We're here to talk about his wigs that he is definitely wearing. The caveat that where it really started was from this photo here. It was from that Pepsi commercial. Freaking, oh, dude, Pepsi pisses me off. That's why I drink Sprite Zeros, bro. I ain't getting my hair caught on fire for Pepsi. No way. But anyway, he got his hair caught on fire during a Pepsi commercial or something like that. I think that's what it was. And ever since then, oh, there's something floating in the air. He got his hair burned in this commercial, and you can see here is really bad. That sucks. And I think he was already starting to lose his hair because he started kind of going with the shorter, non-afro look, but more like he almost like a perm or something. And I think that all those chemicals in his hair, they caught fire. And yeah, it was pretty bad. This must have been the downfall because he had to have a bunch of plastic surgery on his head, graft the skin and stuff, and I doubt you're going to start growing hair back from there. I had heard from literally nobody other than my brain that this was kind of the start of his plastic surgery downfall. Like, he had already done stuff to his nose and stuff like that, but it's like this was when he really started falling down. And you can see here, you know, they had his head wrapped and everything. It never is good when somebody gets hurt doing the thing they love to do, because that's when a lot of like addictions and problems start popping up. You know, they start doing a plastic surgery thing because they can't get their look back. So it's a crazy world, but they don't care as long as the money's flowing in. You know, the industry doesn't give a shit. I don't know if this had to do with the burns or if it was just from him chemically treating his hair all the time, just starting to lose it over time. It could be one or the other or both. I don't know, but this is not oh boy, this is not a hairdo that, honestly, nobody has this hairdo. Nobody, not a single person. And if they did, I would assume you weren't a person. And you can see the little mesh thing at the top. This is bad. I think he was actually like just straight up bald. I don't know for sure. I wasn't there. And I saw this video too of him where he was like, the guy was so isolated from regular human interaction that he couldn't go anywhere because he was so famous, but like he had to buy an entire grocery store out for a day so he could pretend to shop. And they bought actors to pretend like they don't know it's Michael Jackson. And he was like walking around being like, oh, do you know where the bread is or whatever? Because he'd never experienced an actual going to the grocery store life, and he wanted to feel like a normal person, which then in and of itself is like, bro, you ain't fucking normal now because you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for people to pretend that you're not who you are. That's crazy to me. Anyway, back to the wig thing. Yeah, that's definitely a wig. Definitely. And that ain't his chin. That ain't his nose. Those aren't his eyebrows. That's not anything. This is honestly really sad. I know like a lot of people like to poke fun at him, but it is really sad, man. Like, your life has become so ingrained in being famous and being who you are and having these mental illnesses and getting beat by your father and all this other stuff. Like, there was so much that this poor child just couldn't be a kid. And it's, you know, we can chastise and bastardize them now. Here I am literally talking about the thing I said I wasn't going to talk about, but whatever. It's like, but we can like bastardize the person now, but like, where the hell were we 50 years ago when the poor kid's getting beat and freaking, you know, forced to perform day in and day out for 50 years? You know what I mean? Like, let's put it into perspective a little bit. This is bad. Oh boy. And then he's trying to grow like a beard for some reason. And that's the other thing too, you could tell when people are wearing wigs is because like the wig changes constantly. Where does forehead go? Probably because the wig was just sitting too far forward like that. You know what I mean? Oh, and then I found this photo too. So it's not my photo. I don't know whose it is, but you can see this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the little, he's calling it lace. It's more like a mesh kind of thing, but it like gets intertwined with the skin and other hair. And then you get real close, you can see it. And actually I saw that with Ace Frehley when I met him in person, you know, when we were sitting there, you know, getting a photo together. I was looking at him, you know, like a fucking creep, and I could just see the mesh. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, this isn't his real hair. You know what I mean? It was crazy. This was Michael Jackson. How I wanted to end with this photo because he was a very good looking person, and all of his like mental illnesses and the abuse that he suffered from his father, and you know the ideology of us as a human race, putting him on that big of a pedestal where he couldn't literally function as a human. But this is what he actually looked like. This was his, as normal as he could have been before he started, you know, messing around with it. You know, really nice hair, and he hated his nose, he hated his lips, he hated his eyes and his eyebrows, and he just wanted to be white for some reason. And it's bad, man. But this is how I choose to remember Michael Jackson. When I think of Michael Jackson, I typically try to think of this version of him where it's, you know, a lot more authentic and it's him. And I wish that we could have seen him age like a normal person and what that could have looked like. Yeah, he might have been more bald and, you know, he might have had saggy skin, but it would have been better and whatever. So that's how we're going to end this video, is on that particular photo of Michael Jackson, because that's how I choose to remember him. And I hope that you do as well. Anyway, that had nothing to do with wigs there at the end, more of like a mental health thing. But we all need to just take care of each other and not make fun of each other for things, so we can not feel like we have to wear wigs and have to do all that stuff. And I am rambling a whole hell of a lot, and I apologize, but also not really. I hope that you keep watching the videos, and appreciate everybody being here. And I hope that you hit the subscribe button. I hope you leave me a comment. Like the video for sure, because YouTube kind of likes that. Let me know who I've missed. And if you leave somebody that I did miss, make sure you check out the other 4 videos that I've done on the topic, so that way you can have educated comment now saying like, oh wait, I was going to say this guy, but actually I'm going to say this guy because you already put the other guy in that other video. Hope that makes sense. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.